Fort Hood killer Nidal Hasan writes a letter to the Pope praising Islamist jihad. Nidal Hassan has reportedly written a letter intended for Pope Francis. In it he writes about Islamist jihad, praising those who are willing to fight. Has directed his attorney to send the 6-page letter on to the Pontiff. Comes after another letter he wrote to ISIS leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. Hasan killed 13 and injured 30 in 2009 mass shooting at Fort Hood, Texas. A former Army psychiatrist who killed 13 people in a shooting spree at an Army base in Texas has reportedly written a letter to the Pope praising Islamist jihad. Nidal Hasan, who opened fire at Fort Hood on fellow service personnel at Fort Hood in 2009, has apparently composed the letter under the acronym SOAB, thought to mean Soldier of Allah. It is believed he has now directed his attorney John Galligan to send on the 6-page, handwritten letter to Pope Francis. He also states that fighters have a greater rank in the eyes of Allah than believers who don't fight. Mr. Galligan says the letter reinforces how religious zeal underscores his actions and mental processes. However, families of the victims say it is clear that Hasan is trying to use jihad as a way of justifying the Fort Hood tragedy. The letter comes just over a month after it was reported that Hasan also wrote to Islamic State leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. In it he said that it would be an honor to join the caliphate and has made request to be made a citizen of the Islamic State. Hasan is currently on death row at Fort Leavenworth in Kansas after the shooting on November 5, killing 13 and injuring 30 others. During the incident he walked into the Fort Hood Medical Readiness Building carrying 2 guns and several magazines of ammunition. He shouted Allahu Akbar, Arabic for God is great, and opened fire on soldiers awaiting medical tests and vaccines. He was shot and paralyzed from the waist down in the resulting gunfire and was sentenced to death last year. Hasan described himself at trial as a soldier who switched sides in a supposed war between America and Islam. Government lawyers also said Hasan did not want to go on an impending deployment to Afghanistan. Earlier this year, FBI Director James Comey testified that he believed the shooting carried out by Hasan at Fort Hood in Texas was inspired by al-Qaeda. The federal government has termed the attack an incidence of workplace violence, saying that the homegrown Hasan didn't meet the legal definition of an international terrorist.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter. You can visit us on www.therealthingme.webs.com.